afternoon, presented by Brown Sugar Bourbon. Sunny Sunday afternoon. Well, you know, the one thing about this homestand, and we've had 6 games, 3 against the Red Sox, 3 here against the Yankees. We've had a chance for our director of 37 years, Dave Burchett, to just take a very active role and a hand in showing us so many, you know, different viewpoints, angles, whatever, of this ballpark, really highlighting its beauty. It's been really fun. I've enjoyed that. He's dispatched Peter all over the place with the handheld camera, getting us shots like these. Just ways to look at the ballpark that maybe we don't that often. We saw, you and I were standing around in the clubhouse earlier today when Peter Wagner, our photog, as it were, came in. I said, "Well, you do anything today?" Just kind of rolled his eyes like, just everything. That's all. Just every single shot ever taken. There he is. It's okay, Peter. Just a couple more innings, pal.
A few extra things for you to do tomorrow, Peter. Be out here about 7 o'clock, would you?
He has been all over the place. I mean, he's been out in the apartments. He's been in every nook and cranny of this park.
You know, Dave, you mentioned that Dave Burchett, our director, will be retiring after 37 years. Obviously, we're all going to miss him. And you know how much he's admired when you watch and listen to all the cameramen around the league. Ask about him. They've all paid tribute to him. And you just know what he's meant to all of them in their careers and to all of us who've been around him. I just want to mention, if anyone was watching the beginning of the game and they saw the tease, obviously I was very honored to be asked to do that. But it was Dave that wrote that tease, and I think everybody should know that. Whatever people liked about that, it's because Dave was the one that wrote it.
Yeah, and if you did not happen to catch it at the beginning of the broadcast, I have excellent news. They'll be able to catch it at the very end of the broadcast.
Nice.
We'll play it again after the parade and all the festivities today. We'll get another look at that, and that will be the way, frankly, that we kind of shut the doors on this gorgeous ballpark. This ball well struck center field. The Shields is back, and he has just enough room. 2 away. All right, 5th inning. Still presented by Brown Sugar Bourbon. Six in a row retired by Lynn, and Cameron Maben, 9th place hitter, due up here. 8 strikeouts so far today for Lance. Just misses that outside corner for a ball. So, Tom, in this ballpark, is there any one particular view, physical aspect of the ballpark that in particular captures your imagination?
You know what I have to say? It's right where we're sitting right now. I've been sitting here for 25 years practically with this view, and I think if I was offered the chance to buy a season ticket, I'd buy the one that Bonnie and Tab have, and
right
Jennifer, right in front of us. The back row with this angle, to me, gets you close enough to the field with a perspective where you see exactly what's going on. So my answer would be right here, right where we are.
I love it. Pop up into foul ground, and it's another 1-2-3 inning. And a look from the outside across the street where we will be next year. Oh, our beautiful Temple.
Bill Dickinson here with Dallas Truck World, Texas's premier destination for pre-owned trucks, cars, and SUVs, where our online price is the price you're going to pay. And I want you to be 100% happy, so I offer a 7-day return policy at DallasTruckWorld.com.
The newest food obsession is toasted cheddar baked on the shell of a chalupa. Now tastefully curated with a flight of 2 crunchy tacos and a medium drink. The new $5 Toasted Cheddar Chalupa Box. Only at Taco Bell. Order now and get it delivered.
This month on Frontier.
The Red Sox are 1 out away. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Red Sox win the World Series. And the best team in baseball wins it all.
See Fox Sports 1 and HD on Channel 583.
We're going to have some great sales.
What you got there, Bob?
This is Mr. Minnie McKinney. Say, hi, Brandon. Hey, Brandon. Hey, hey.
Right now, get the 2019 F-150 Super Crew for just $26,110. Or get $5,000 off on the 2020 Explorer.
Say hi to Mr. Minnie McKinney. Hey, Brandon, you've already met him.
Yep. Right.
Come shop Bob Thomas Ford at BobThomasFord.com.
High school sports under the spotlight tonight on Fox Sports Southwest.
Welcome back to the final game here at Globe Life Park in Arlington. And my, look who I found sitting in the stands. The 43rd President of the United States, George Bush. So happy you are here. What does it mean to you to be here today?
Well, I'm with Tom Schieffer and Dee Dee Rose, Rusty's widow, and Laura and Jenna. It really is a reminder of this wonderful partnership we had, and sitting in this cathedral we built, and so it means a lot.
Why was it so important at that time for this organization, the city of Arlington, to build this ballpark?
Well, I think it showed our commitment to the fans. I mean, it is a fabulous ballpark. And Arlington showed a commitment to the citizens that they want to have an entertainment center, and it's a great fit. And Arlington was a wonderful partner for us.
What is your fondest memory of this park?
2010 World Series. I came out of the wall with my dad in a cart, greeted by Nolan Ryan for the first game of the World Series here at the ballpark. It was a special moment.
Mr. President, it was an honor to have you on the broadcast.
Emily, I watch you all the time.
You are the sweetest thing ever, and I was so nervous, and now I'm not so nervous.
No, you did great.
And thanks for the photo bomb a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah,
that was
baby.
pretty good. Mr. President, thank you so much. Appreciate your time. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
That's awesome. That is so cool. I remember that photo bomb because Emily didn't see it. She couldn't. She was photobombed. It was awesome.
You know, if you didn't know who he was, and you came to a ball game and you sat next to him, at the end of 9 innings, you would love him, and you wouldn't have the slightest idea that he was a president.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy he is.
Yep. Oh, ouch. Tommy Canely on in relief here. Gave up the single to Calhoun and now plunked Santana. The Rangers have a couple of base runners in the 5th inning.
Looks like it hurts. Should have hurt a lot more than Danny let on. A hitter that gets hit is going to do everything he can not to let the pitcher know that it hurts. But, that's a mid-90s fastball right near the elbow. To be able to keep a straight face and not complain about that shows me something from Danny. I couldn't do that. I'd be getting up from the ground right about now, wondering where the trainer is.
I think I might literally just roll into the dugout. I don't know that I would get up. Odor at the plate now, and Canely will break contact. So that was neat, hearing from President Bush, who has, by the way, a terrific presidential library on the campus of SMU. And our own John Blake is a docent at that library, and he is dedicated to that. He does not miss his Saturdays over there, and it is a really, really neat library. Now, his dad also has a great presidential library down at College Station on the campus of Texas A&M. I went this summer with my oldest to see it, and when you get to the Oval Office, there's the desk and everything, and in the back there's a little credenza, and it's set up just like it would have been in the White House, and he had pictures, all these family pictures, and that guy right there pictured with his family and stuff, but so much Rangers gear on. Everybody in all the pictures wearing Rangers gear, watching Rangers games. It was so cool to see, especially down there at College Station, that, you know, his dad, he loved the fact that his son was an owner of a major league team, and they had that access and the enjoyment of the family being able to share that experience, and it was a big part of that library's experience.
Well, his dad was a ball player, played baseball at Yale, loved the game. So I could see how he would feel that way.
Yeah, and his dad, of course, famous for that picture with Babe Ruth, when Babe Ruth was handing over the manuscript to his life story to the elder George Bush. The 2-1 pitch, this one high in the count, 3-1.
As long as we got a minute, I'm going to tell a President Bush story that I probably told before, but when he was in the ownership group that bought the team, none of us knew any of the Bushes or anything about them really. And so I think the worry for a lot of us was that here was a guy that was going to come in and have the baseball team be his little toy, and we didn't know what to expect. And one of the first days that he was on the job, he was in the office, and he walked into my office.
Strike two.
That is a long foul ball. And he said, did I ever tell you about my days pitching for the Yale freshman team? And so I said to myself, okay, here we go. Here's where the new owner comes in and tells me how great he was, and if he didn't go into blah, 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 he would have been pitching in the big leagues. Hear that story all the time. Well, I had to support my family, I had to go to school, otherwise I'd have been in the big leagues. So I sit back, take a deep breath, and wait for the story. He says, we're playing Williams College, and we're down 13-1 in the fifth inning, and my coach says, Bush, go out to right field, warm up, and get ready. And so I said to myself, this is the president talking, this is my chance. I'm all warmed up. Next guy gets on base. The coach walks out to the mound, signals in my direction. I start to walk in to pitch, and I realize he was calling in the second baseman to pitch. That's when I knew I didn't have a career on the mound. And so it went from being, I'm ready to hear some guy I don't know tell me how great he was, and that's the story he told. And it was pretty much exactly the kind of guy he is, self-deprecating, and it's why sometimes the owner or your boss is walking around the office and you move out of the way so he doesn't see you because you don't want him to come into the office. In that case, he went into everybody's office and talked, and you made sure he saw you and hoped that he came into your office because he was so much fun to be around. The other thing he was great at, he was like the voice of the team. He loved being in the dugout. He loved talking to the sports writers. And he was the one that basically was the face of the franchise and got the news that the team wanted printed out to the fans. He was the one that did it, and the sports writers loved him just as much as he loved them. It was really a great time to be involved with the Rangers.
Emily, you have more on the president?
Well, so I sat down, right before, during the commercial break, before we did the interview, and I looked at him and I said, I'm nervous. And he goes, well, I'm not. And I said, well, I didn't figure you would be. He's such a great guy. Getting to, kind of know him a little bit over the course of my career out here has been one of the truly special things for me.
Well, and you emceed, or you had the Q&A with him. Was that 2 years ago, Emily? That was such a neat night.
Yeah, it was a Texas Tech event, and he sat down, and it was probably 45 minutes Q&A, and the candor with which he spoke was just, it was just incredible to hear the stories that he told.
Bouncer first. They'll get the out at the plate. Throw back to first, and it's a double play, at least for the moment. Boy, Nick Solak, if he had any luck today at all, it would be horrible. He smashed 2 balls to third to have them taken away on great plays by Urshela, and now this.
He hit it hard, but unfortunately, he hit it right straight at LeMahieu, who gets it home, and makes a nice pick at first base on the throw from Sanchez. Is he out? Let's see if we can tell. See if the umpire needs any of our help.
Oh, he's safe.
I think he's safe.
The Rangers are challenging it.
Yeah, I think he's going to go 0 for 1, but he's going to pick up an RBI, I think.
Well, no RBI. The run didn't score, but he'll at least be safe. And you can hear the fans responding to the video that they get on the scoreboard. And this should not be a very long review.
It's a tough call for an umpire because the ball bounced in the dirt before the first baseman caught it. But at least from the angle we saw, not much doubt.
No, and I think they'll get this one.
Thanks for correcting me on that RBI. It is pretty tough to get an RBI when the guy's out at the plate.
There we go. They correct the call. He is safe. The bases remain loaded. I think just the 1 out in the inning now, and Guzman will have a chance. Guzman flat out to center field, struck out in the 4th inning. Canely on. He's the 3rd pitcher of the day for the Yankees. I think Guzman comes up empty on strike 1. Let's see, in the opener on Friday, we saw James Paxton leave the game after 1 inning. He had a nerve irritation in his upper glute on his left side, and so they were cautious and made sure to take him out. Inside, and Guzman jackknifes out of the way. Yesterday, Severino went 3 innings, and it was not a real sharp 3 innings. He walked 4, allowed a couple of runs, and his day was done quickly. Today, the start was Chad Green, but really Masahiro Tanaka, the bulk guy, and he only went 3 innings again. And they did not want to, it's not like they wanted to push any of their starters 7 or 8 innings this time around. But Aaron Boone, he has to have some concerns about the way things have gone. Edwin Encarnacion was, they were anticipating that he would play a game, start in fact Friday, was scratched. Did not play Friday and will not play this weekend. Another guy they're trying to get back and get healthy. And the only thing they can do now are play some simulated games in these next 4 days to see if he's even, close enough to include on the roster for that division series. They've got a lot of questions.
Not really an ideal way to get ready for a postseason game.
At the same time, even with all the concerns and questions around them, you can certainly see where they would be a real threat to do some damage against the Twins or the Astros, anybody they play. As Guzman sends this one into right field, base hit. That will get a couple of runs in, and the Rangers stretch the lead 5-1.
That might be the longest I've ever seen a headfirst dive slide. Rugi slid in front of the base and didn't try to get up until he stopped about 10 feet past the bag. That looked like a changeup with a split finger grip. And Ronald lines it into the gap. Rugi's got a big jump at second. Watch this headfirst dive coming home.
It's like
I don't think he'd go much farther than that. Here he comes. Yeah, looks like he's sliding on the snow.
That was awesome. So 2 runs scored. Solak at second. Guzman at first. And Delano, he had a base hit last inning. Still just 1 out in the inning, and he shows bunt. That one came way in. And it looked like fouled it off his finger in the handle of the bat. Ouch.
Well, you could see it hit his first finger.
On the 1 strike offering. And this one on the ground, second base. A scoop to the bag, 1. Gregorius on to first in time for the double play. And this one a good one. The inning is over. Rangers add a couple more runs, though, and they're having some fun on the base paths. Rougned Odor sliding like a kid in the middle of summer. 5-1 Rangers on top, and now that 5 innings are in the books, the game is official. And that means that they will do the ceremony one more time here. Taking out some of the bases, get those authenticated. Now let's turn it over to Chuck Morgan.
Direct your attention to the video boards in section 201. Counting down the number today. As mayor of Arlington, Texas, he played a major role in Texas Rangers' effort to build a new ballpark to replace Arlington Stadium. The hill in center field is named in his honor, and earlier this year he was inducted into the Texas Rangers Hall of Fame. Along with his granddaughter Ashley, please welcome former Arlington Mayor Richard Green. Mr. Mayor and Ashley, we started this countdown at 100. It's time to count down the number. Ladies and gentlemen, opening day 2020 is Tuesday, March 31st at Globe Life Field. Thank you, Ashley, and thank you, Mayor Richard Green. Ladies and gentlemen, over the last 26 years, Globe Life Park has given all of us some of the greatest moments and memories of our Texas Rangers and baseball lives. Today, we welcome back some special guests who were instrumental in the building of this ballpark. And today, they are sitting in the original seats that they sat in on opening day, April 11th, 1994. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the wife of former managing general partner Rusty Rose, Dee Rose. Former president of the Texas Rangers, Mr. Tom Schieffer. The former First Lady of the United States of America, Laura Bush. And ladies and gentlemen, the 43rd President of the United States of America, George W. Bush.
That's pretty neat, Tom. Pretty cool. Cool to see the reactions. Cool to see the affection. Yeah, real emotion.
Well, those, you know, it's just hard to explain how close those families came with the partnership they had when the team was bought by that group. They didn't know each other before the group was put together. Peter Ueberroth, the commissioner, helped put the group together. There were people from New York. There were people from St. Louis. There were people from Fort Worth. And to see how that partnership was put together and how it functioned over the course of their ownership was really remarkable. And, you know, the Schieffers, the Bushes, the Roses all became so close. And I know it's got to be extremely emotional for them to be recognized like that on the last day of this ballpark. I'm glad I got a chance to see it and be down there and get a chance to be reacquainted with all of them.
You know, I'm not as well versed in the early days of the franchise history, or at least not as connected to, you know, what was a little bit of instability there for a lot of years. And we take for granted maybe a touch now, that this is a major league franchise with the infrastructure in place and payrolls, etc. It's our team here in Arlington, but there were many days where that wasn't always the most secure thing in the world, right? This team could have gone.
No, but it became secure when that group bought the team. And this interesting side note, I'm not sure the exact number. Tom Schieffer was the president. Rusty Rose and George Bush were the managing general partners. And two of the other owners were men from Cincinnati. One was named Bill DeWitt, and one was named Bob Castellini. Bill DeWitt owns the Cardinals now, and owned the Cardinals when they beat the Rangers in the World Series, and Bob Castellini owns the Cincinnati Reds. So it's probably fairly unique for one partnership to endure like it did, be successful, and have two of the partners get out of the partnership and go on to buy their own major league teams.
One ball, one strike on DJ LeMahieu. Top of the order here for the Yankees. LeMahieu, Judge, and Gardner. Final game in Globe Life Park history. Rangers with the 5-1 lead. And a little tapper, shortstop. Andrews takes care of it, and that is out number one. Time for a Chevy game break. Let's check in with Dana Larson.
Dave, thanks, and an update from around baseball. NL playoff implications in play today. Brewers still in the hunt for the division. Yasmani Grandal's home run gives them the early lead. If they win, the Cardinals lose, we'll have game 163 to decide who wins the Central and plays for the wild card, guys.
All right, thanks, Dana. And my allegiance is very clear. It's not with any team. It's only with chaos. Whatever it takes to get a 163, that's all I want. As Lynn grooves one for a strike here to Aaron Judge. One out, nobody on. Top of the sixth inning on a special day out here at the ballpark. Special enough, in fact, that we even get to see Rusty Greer. Rusty Greer, man, thank you for coming up and hanging out with us a little bit today.
You bet. I wouldn't miss it for the world, especially if I get to see Tom.
And welcome back, by the way.
Thank you.
Pretty special weekend, a lot of fun, and I'm guessing that the biggest thrill for you is really just reconnecting with some old teammates.
Yeah, it's to see the ballpark, especially full again, right here at the last day, it's great, but I enjoy seeing those guys I played with and seeing those guys from years ago that I don't see a lot, and kind of rehash and telling war stories. So that's what's been really fun.
Well, we had a blast up here talking to Will for
I'm sure
about an inning, and we were talking about how when players talk about Will Clark, obviously they talk about his performance, the kind of player he was, but one thing I always hear you guys talking about are the intangibles and the leadership and the things like that. And he mentioned that he had a locker right next to yours, and he talked about players he learned from. What did you learn from Will?
Well, I learned a lot from him, to be honest with you. Just subtle things. I would just sit and kind of watch how he handled the media. He told me he would point things out about, some media guys and players didn't get along too well, but he would say, you need this guy on your side, you need this guy on your side. So he would literally, Will is, I learned this from Will, names, forget about it. You could be a reporter and come in on day one and come back the last day, he remembers your name. So I took that. So I'm pretty good with names. But baseball-wise, just swing, learning where to hit the ball, how to hit the ball, how to approach certain things. As a matter of fact, I just told someone, I said, there's days when I would come into the clubhouse and wouldn't feel like not feel like playing, but hurt or something like that. And I would sit down, I don't know if I can go today, man. And he would look at me and say, we need you hitting third. And I said, okay. That was it. I'm there. And so he was just a really good leader of the entire clubhouse.
I told a little story about when I transitioned from the front office to broadcasting, and I got on the bus for the first time, didn't know where my seat should be. So I picked what I thought was the best seat, and I heard, that's not where the broadcaster is, Segre. You have any moments like that personally?
Oh, yeah. And the funny thing is that no one was off limits with Will. I mean, it didn't matter. No one was off limits. It's, for me, it's really inside the clubhouse, because those older guys, I was a young guy back in 96, 7. and they would do things to younger guys, and I can remember hearing him getting on reporters that came to the clubhouse. He got on to me a few times, but the great thing about Will is this, is that if you had an issue with Will, I mean, not an issue with Will, but something he was doing, he wasn't approaching something right, you could say the same thing to him, and he would go, you're right. I need to do this better. So it wasn't a one-way street. Yeah. It was a two-way street with him. Now, I would say very, very rarely did anybody go to Will and say, you need to do this different. But if they did, he would have accepted it. So we call him the sheriff for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah, the sheriff. Now, you ended up taking over that role a little bit, right? I mean, to some extent. He felt, in fact, he told us that he felt comfortable when he left here, that he left the clubhouse in good hands, in particular felt like you could carry that same mentality and sort of same discipline and structure forward.
Well, and he's correct to an extent. I mean, he did leave the clubhouse in great shape. And let's understand this. That was back during a time when we had a manager in Johnny Oates that he literally allowed the veteran guys to run the clubhouse. Johnny was a veteran players manager, and so we rarely had meetings, and it was handled by, Will, Mickey Tettleton, Dave Valley, all these guys that were veteran players. And so when they left, over the course of just free agency and whatnot, they left. It was kind of handed down to me. Now, I'm a little bit different than Will. I'm not as loud and as boisterous, and I may not call you out on the carpet like he does, folks. Yeah. But
we'll pick it up next year.
So I may not handle it the way he does, but I took a lot of what he did by going out and playing every day and then talking kind of behind the scenes to guys. That's how I kind of did my league. I wasn't as loud and as vocal, but I would take a player to the side and say, hey, you approach this differently or do this differently. So that's kind of what I did.
All right. More with Rusty Greer when we come back.
Whether you're going to the beach, the cabin, or your favorite hiking spot, make sure you're prepared with the smooth, sweet taste of the world's best flavored whiskey. BSB, Brown Sugar Bourbon. Cheers to the great outdoors from Heritage Distilling Company, makers of BSB and proud partner of your Texas Rangers.
Their Bernaise sauce here is the best in town. What do you do for fun?
Not this.
Oh, what am I into? Mostly Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Helps people find coverage options based on their budget. Flo has it, I want it, it's a whole thing. And she's right there.
Yeah, she's my ride. This date's lame. He has pics of you on his phone.
No, they're very tasteful.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Texas Rangers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rangers Baseball, LLC.
5-1, Rangers lead as we come back for the bottom of the sixth inning. Rusty Greer joining us here in these middle innings. And so, Rusty, obviously, there are a lot of great memories in this ballpark. We've been celebrating them all week. There's a little one that you're involved with back in the day.
Yeah.
Does that come up like weekly, daily? Somebody must come up to you all the time.
Believe it or not, it comes up quite often. If I meet somebody, I was at Kenny Rogers' perfect game, or it does come up quite a bit, to be honest with you. And it's something that it makes me feel good because that means people remember what went on. And just being a part of that game, and really, it wouldn't matter where it was, but I was so young, and this park was brand new, and I grew up here. That's something that always sticks in my mind. Just the crowd, and just Mark Holt making the call is just awesome.
Yeah. Rusty, I've heard you talk about it a number of times, and I love listening to you talk about the diving catch. But people just take for granted the last out was simple. That had a little story to it as well.
Yeah, and I told it the other day at the luncheon. And, the diving catch was while it was difficult, I knew I was going to catch that ball. I was halfway out there, and that's kind of what made that night. But the last out, and if you see it, I catch it above my head, and I told folks, this concrete facade right here, the ball gets rubbed up, and it's the same color. And so when DiSarcina hit that ball, it goes into this concrete. And we had always been told, just keep watching, it's going to come out. And people would tell us that, but they never said a perfect game is going to be on the line. Keep watching, you know. And so the ball goes up, and I start in on it because I knew it jammed him. But then I lost it, and I'm just sitting there to myself, just keep watching. It's coming out, it's coming out, it's coming out. And then it comes out, and obviously it came out higher than what I expected. It carried a little bit further than what I expected, so I caught it above my head. I played it off good, right? I jumped and did all that stuff. So, yeah, but that was the one that was, people don't realize that was a little more nerve-wracking for me anyways than and then you watch videos, and as soon as the guy hits it, Pudge is rushing the mound like, yeah, you did it. And so I'm thinking, dude, if you only knew, if you were a little, the preempt, it was a little early, man. You know.
My favorite comment that you've made, though, and I've heard you say this before, too, and it's such an honest comment about what you said about all 8 players on the team at any particular moment late in that game.
Yeah, and that's what I said the other day is, you know, as coaches, and we tell young players, you got to want the ball hit to you. You got to want the ball hit to you. And you do until there's a perfect game on the line. And then I can assure you there was 8 other big leaguers out there besides myself that wanted it nowhere near them. Balls hit to right, I'm going, oh, thank God the ball wouldn't hit to me. Ball hits the ground, oh, thank God. Hit to me, I'm like, oh, no.
See, to me, that's such a great story because you got a lifetime 300 hitter here who's been a tremendous major league player, yet honest enough to say there are times, no matter how good you think we are, where we're a little bit skeptical about our chances, a little bit nervous. So that's great. I think people like to hear those stories.
I've said this. I said it the other day. People, you know, they say that I saved Kenny Rogers' perfect game. I had a big play in that game, but there was several plays. In any of those games, no-hitters, perfect games, you have to have multiple plays, and guys make plays for those games to come to fruition. And I can remember, you know, back then the grass at the ballpark was kind of splotchy. It wasn't this turf you see here. And I can remember Dean Palmer coming in on a ball and the ball taking a bad hop on him catching it, throwing the guy out. Pretty good play. Juan made a nice play in left center. He was playing left center field on a sky ball. I think maybe Bo Jackson, somebody hit it. It was a sky ball. Had to run back and catch it. Esteban Beltre there in the 9th made a nice play. Will, on that ball Beltre threw when he stretched super wide to the inside to catch a ball and stay on the bag. So there was a bunch of plays that really had an impact on that game.
Sure.
Mine was just in the 9th inning.
It is sort of the funny thing about a perfect game or no-hitter is that obviously that pitcher and the catcher, right, need a lot of credit because they just did something awesome. But it is such a team accomplishment.
Oh, yeah.
More so than, let's say, as an example, hitting for the cycle. That's an individual. The guy did that. But a perfect game and a no-hitter, I think that's why it's so much fun as a fan to get into those things too, because it really is a team accomplishment.
What's exciting, and you know, I can remember, and I was in center field, and by no means was I a center fielder. I was basically a stopgap center fielder, and I was having to be playing there. But I can remember the first inning, Kenny throwing a breaking ball, and I thought to myself, man, he's got a good breaking ball tonight, you know. And so it kept going, and ball snapping. But I'll tell you the pitch of the game. And I can see it right now. Jim Edmonds, bases loaded. Jim Edmonds it's in the 7th inning, 3-2. Kenny throws him a changeup, 3-2. Okay, so now you know the old general rule: left-handers don't throw left-handers, changeups, all that stuff, because it's down and in. And Jim Edmonds is a pretty darn good hitter. He throws him a 3-2 changeup. He swings through it, strikes him out. And I was running off the field, and I said, if it's a perfect game, it's a pitch of the game right there.
Wow.
You talk about gutsy. Yeah. I mean, that's gutsy to throw a 3-2 changeup.
Sure.
So
we had Pudge on last night, and we were talking to him about.
I'm sorry, the bases weren't loaded. Jim Edmonds was 3-2. The bases couldn't have been loaded. It was a perfect game. What am I thinking? Jim Edmonds was 3-2, and he throws a changeup. He swings through it. So nobody was on. See, I get so excited. I forget it's a perfect game. Nobody can be on base.
Well, a little excitement right there at second base, and looked like a game of hot potato going on out there. But they do get the force out of Chu, one away.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to catch it and ended up, luckily, missing it, but flipping it right straight to the shortstop, who says, okay, I'll try. Touches second. Can't get the guy at first. But Pudge was talking about the no-hitter and, you know, what it meant to him to get a no-hitter and how big a deal that is for a catcher. And he told the story. You might not even know this. I didn't know it. He said when he warmed Kenny up before the game, it's the worst stuff he's ever seen him have. He couldn't throw a fastball for a strike. He bounced every curveball, and he came in thinking this is going to be a long day for Kenny Rogers.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny because that happens, I'm going to say a lot. I've only been around really one game like that, but Bobby Witt tells a story of Nolan. One of his last no-hitters, him warming up, he comes in and tells Valentine, hey, you better have the bullpen ready. This is a bad deal. Goes out and throws a no-hitter. So sometimes, you know, it's like as a position player, you're going to have a terrible BP and you go 4 for 4 in a game. Sometimes the omen works out where it's better to do bad in practice.
Sac fly by Calhoun gets Trevino to the plate. 6-1 Rangers lead.
Yeah, Rusty, you watch a lot of Ranger games. I know for a fact. What's been your impression of Lance Lynn watching him pitch this year?
You know what? Going back to when they signed Lance Lynn, I thought it's kind of one of those kind of why signings, you know. But then after he starts, I think he's gotten better as time has gone on. I've been really impressed with the aggressiveness of the heater. You know, let's don't mess around with this and this. I'm throwing 95, here it is, and up in the strike zone where people can't catch up with. I've been really impressed with, it's kind of that bulldog mentality. I think he's got a great mound presence. I think he's got the ability to come up in the strike zone, throw the breaking ball. He's had a really good year. He's, what'd you say, 200-something punch outs, you know, so he's done really well. But I think that's that mound presence that he brings. It's not a, I'm not here to compete, and that's what I look for as a player out of other players. Am I here to compete, or do I want to just be out here pitching? And I think he competes. I've been pretty impressed with him.
I don't know that there are many who competed as hard as you did, and I'd love to talk to you about taking care of yourself, right? Because you put yourself out there a little bit. But I want to ask you, because we are running short on time, outside of that perfect game, anything about this ballpark that comes to mind for you, a moment, a memory, a thought?
Well, there's several. One of the biggest ones is '96. We came out before the game to run, to stretch. Place is 55,000, whatever it was, sold out. So it's me and one other guy, I forget who it is, and we come across the line, and the place gives us a standing ovation. Not me, but the Rangers. And they stood, and there was given an ovation until every player came out and finished their run. That brought, chills to you when you're sitting out there in center field stretching. You're like, oh, wow, this is awesome. It's just awesome. And it's something I'll never forget.
A lot of goosebumps moments in this ballpark, especially when you were playing here.
One of the biggest ones was the pregame pitch. Nolan throwing to Kenny.
Yeah, that was
Lord
great.
have mercy. If that don't give you goosebumps,
I know.
You ain't a baseball fan.
No doubt, no doubt. Rusty, so good to see you, man. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
All right, Rusty Grimm, we'll be back.
We're coming through these brick arches and iron gates for 26 seasons to cheer our team. We're experiencing first games, first dates, and first place. We're sweating out thrilling finishes and scorching summers. For those thunderous celebrations and family traditions. For the incredible that's now indelible. Thank you, Rangers fans. Always yours, Globe Life Park.
Nothing is more important.
More important?
Than my health.
Our health. You got it. Care and caring.
Hi, I'm Kimberly.
When I want it, where I want it.
What's a sign that it's healing? Led by innovation.
And faith.
Care on your terms. It's as important to us as it is to you. And we're just getting started. Texas Health, right there with you.
Some delivery apps make you order from certain places, but Texans can favor anything. Thanks. Favor lunch, favor Sunday brunch, favor BBQ, DQ, chips, dips, or chicken strips.
Hey, happy practice! Favorite food truck falafel, favorite velvet taco. Thanks. Central Market beer and wine delivered for free.
Ooh, this will go with the brie.
Favorite bento box, bagels and lox. Favorite Italian, Chinese, or Thai. Hot Dotty Classic with fries.
If it's a Texas favorite, you can favor it. Download the app and sign up today to get free deliveries for your first month.
Favor
anything delivered.
Cowboys Game Night tonight on Fox Sports Southwest.
Well, it's 6-1. Rangers with the lead. And here in the 7th inning, we'll see the heart of the order for the Yankees. Lance Lynn continues to work. He's been outstanding today. He's faced 3 over the minimum so far. And his first offering, Stanton takes strike 1.
Yeah, Lance might have his best strike-to-ball ratio. 62 strikes and 25 balls. 87 pitches.
0-2.
Last 3 games, that's pretty impressive as well. 29-3 strikeout to walk ratio. He's had 1 walk today and 9 strikeouts. Pretty much the same ratio.
Ball and 2 strikes on Stanton, who has struck out and popped out today. 6-1 score. Good pitching by Lynn. Rangers have worked through a number of Yankees pitchers again today, as they have in the first 2 games. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Yankees will head home after the ball game today and have a couple of days to get ready for the postseason and figure out what they're going to do with that roster. 2-2 pitch. That one just misses full count. Rangers, of course, guys, will scatter. After the game today, we'll have a ceremony on the field and we'll televise it. A parade afterward as well. We'll move home plate from here at Globe Life Park to across the field at Globe Life Field. And this one in the air. Short right field. Odor drifting further out, and he makes the play. 1 gone.
Let's go back to the first pitch today that Rusty was talking about, with Nolan throwing the first pitch. And there you can see why I had Kenny right at the top of our all defensive team, being able to catch that low bouncer. In Nolan's heyday, you weren't going to catch that pitch if it was coming in at 100 miles an hour. You'd just be getting out of the way probably, or hope you had catcher's gear on. That was a real thrill, and the fans didn't know that Nolan was going to be the honorary first pitch guy. But it didn't take long for them to figure it out when Chuck Morgan said, he is the all-time strikeout. I mean, before he could even get the sentence out, the fans rose to their feet for a standing ovation. So that was really a goosebump moment.
2 away here in the 7th inning. Let's check in with Emily.
Yeah, and I have Nolan Ryan to thank for a very special feature at the ballpark that was happened as a result of my pregnancies. So I was pregnant in 2011 with my first child, and I would lower myself into the camera well, first homestand of the season, and Nolan would sit in that chair and he said, Emily, you're not going to be able to continue to lower yourself into the camera well day after day. It's just not going to be able to happen. I was like, I'll be fine. So the team goes on the road, we come back, and then I get back that second homestand of the season, and he had them knock out this piece of concrete wall right here and install this gate. So then I could come from the field, go through the gate into the owner's suite, and then come through this gate right here so I could get into the well.
That gate should have your name on it.
I feel like this is kind of it's my gate.
Wow,
so if I could take any piece of this ballpark home with me, it would absolutely be this gate. And then also when I was pregnant, Nolan had them put and not an L screen, but a screen in front of me in case a foul ball came in here, and he wanted to, make sure the baby was protected. So both pregnancies, I had a screen in front of me, and then as soon as I had the babies, had Henry and Hattie, the screen was gone. He's like, "You can fend for yourself. I'm just concerned about the unborn children."
Wow,
so
what a great story.
some really cool memories for me.
Those.
So I want to take this gate home.
That's awesome.
The tapper, first base side, and Lynn takes care of it. Well, I don't know, Emily. Grab a couple of tools. You got a little time to get some work done on this thing before we're done. It's the 7th inning. Time for the stretch. Time for Chuck Morgan.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Please rise. In honor of all the veterans who have served our country and the servicemen and women who are currently stationed home and around the world. On this final game at Globe Life Park in Arlington, we invite everyone here in Globe Life Park to join in singing God Bless America.
Try my really big chicken sandwich combo with 2 breaded chicken patties, 3 breaded chicken patties, or even 4 breaded chicken patties.
That's amazing, Jack!
Thanks, Stanley.
Ow. Wait, what's happening?
Stanley, you're deflating!
Hold me, Jack!
Only a Jack in the Box.
When your psoriasis is bad, it can be hard to see what's possible. But the possibilities become clear with Taltz. The first and only treatment of its kind offering a chance at 100% clear skin. With Taltz, up to 90% of those with moderate to severe psoriasis saw a significant improvement of their psoriasis plaques. Some even saw 100% clear skin. Don't use if you're allergic to Taltz. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. Increased risk of infections and lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about infections, symptoms, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop, worsen, or if you've had a vaccine or plan to. Serious allergic reactions can occur. See the possibilities. Ask your doctor about Taltz.
My really big chicken sandwich combo comes with 2 breaded chicken patties, 3 breaded chicken patties, or even 4 breaded chicken patties, plus fries and a drink.
4 patties? Well, tickle my elbow!
No, thank you. Try my really big chicken sandwich combos, only at Jack in the Box.
Rangers baseball is brought to you by Baylor Scott & White Health, changing healthcare for the better. And Frontier Communications. Don't go it alone. Yeah, it's so funny. First year of the ballpark's existence, and it is still the enduring memory for so many, the Kenny Rogers perfect game. And you look over 26 seasons that have been played here, and the all-time leaders, you know, Kenny Rogers, 113 starts. His wins also the most. I mean, he was a workhorse. Yu Darvish, 509 strikeouts, highest total. A lot of great moments in this ballpark's history. A lot of great performances. A lot of flags added over the years. That was probably the coolest thing about it. You open this thing up, and in a couple of years, franchise finds the postseason. They got there with some regularity. Bottom of the 7th, Rougned Odor will lead things off in a number of changes for the Yankees. A new pitcher, Zach Britton. New battery entirely. Higashioka, who we saw yesterday, will do the catching again today. And this one blasted right side, and that is through for a base hit. Odor got on via the walk his last time up, a single here.
Well, first pitch from a tough lefty. Zach Britton ripped into right field. Ruby has really looked good the last month, swinging the bat, and had a great chance, certainly one of the contenders to be the Ranger Player of the Month with the numbers that he put up. It's been, as we've said many times, it's been a struggle.
Let's see Higashioka behind the plate. The new first baseman is Ford. Frazier, the new right fielder. LeMahieu is now out of the game. And as we mentioned, Zach Britton. Britton making his 66th appearance of the season. All right, Solak, he's had quite a weird day. A couple of hard hit balls down to third base. And Gio Urshela made wonderful defensive plays to take hits away from him. Then came up with the bases loaded, hit one down to first, and very nearly had it turned into a double play. 0 for 3 so far. Chopper by the mound near second base. Grabbed by Torres. He'll hit the bag for one. Oh, on to first in time to get Solak. Quick double play. 2 away. Time for a Chevy game break. Let's check in with Dana Larson.
All right, we teased this earlier. Could it be chaos in the NL, Dave? I'm sorry, not so much. TCUX Matt Carpenter unloading, 3-run blast, 8-0 at the time, 9-0 St. Louis. If they win, the division is theirs, guys.
Well,
sorry,
gave it a
Dave.
shot.
Sorry.
Yeah, did what we could. Seems there won't be any extra games this year to determine locations or division winners or the like. Ronald Guzman, 1 for 3, had that 2-run single his last time up. Won the count. So we can look at the layout now for the postseason. A's hosting the Rays in the wild card in the American League with a chance to face the Astros, Twins, and Yankees. Other side, Braves hosting St. Louis in the National League. Dodgers awaiting the winner in the wild card game between the Nationals and the Brewers. One and 2 the count on Guzman. Oh, what a day, what a view. Guzman strikes out and the inning is done. 8th inning coming up as time runs out here at beautiful Globe Life Park.
When the doctor came in the next morning after surgery, he said, "You look remarkable." And it was a great feeling. They reinvented me. It was a miracle. I got a new life.
Here's to those who never settle. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off you. You'd be like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off you.
Free one-day delivery, video, music, and more with Prime.
Get excited, Whataburger fans. Our one-of-a-kind mushroom Swiss burger is back.
And now it's an all-time favorite.
If you love mushrooms, you're going to love this burger.
The double cheese, the mushrooms was absolutely amazing.
It's a really good balance between the mushrooms and the Swiss. That au jus sauce on top.
The creamy au jus sauce.
It really complements the mushrooms. Everything just works perfectly together.
It's just perfect. Every bite's perfect.
It's not just a mushroom Swiss burger, it's a Whataburger mushroom Swiss burger.
My dream is to help other traumatic brain injury survivors. A year from now, I plan to be in graduate school. My family is what drives me. I want to show them that you're strong, you're resilient, and you can keep going.
Here's to those who never settle.
Time now for our Coors Light refreshing finish. A couple of defensive plays. Right off the bat, Aaron Judge in the first inning, line drive. Base hit taken away by a beautiful diving catch from Delino. Then leading off the fourth inning, Stanton pops one up. Trevino can't see it. Ronald Guzman realizes it right at the end, and the Condor comes sprinting across the infield and makes a nice sliding play to make sure that that ball didn't hit the ground.
This guy has appreciated that help. 9 strikeouts today for Lynn in his 7 innings. He's retired 13 in a row, and there's strike 1 on Didi Gregorius. Last base runner the Yankees had, it was Aaron Judge with the home run in the 3rd inning. Lance going to hit the 100-pitch plateau right here, and that will come as little surprise to anybody who has watched him this season. It's fouled back out of play. He's done it now in 31 of his 33 starts this year. Leclerc looks like he may be next. So 31 games with 100 pitches for Lynn. That's most in franchise history. And he strikes out Gregorius to begin the 8th inning. 1 away. The record of 30 games in a season of 100 or more pitches was held by Nolan Ryan.
Talking about Lanson just pounding the fastball. Well, occasionally he comes in with a breaking ball. That looked like a curveball. And if you're a Yankee hitter, as many times as you see the fastball, very difficult to be ready for that curveball.
Well, Lance, after getting that strikeout, his 10th of the game. And is he going to get a nice reception here? This is a great moment.
Yeah, I love to see that on the mound. I love to hear this ovation because this is one of the real bulldogs that's ever put on a Ranger uniform. I'm proud we got a chance to watch him pitch the way he did this year.
It was a tough call, but our new senior VP goes to Mike.
This wasn't the first time Claire had been passed up for the promotion. But it would be the last time. Upload your resume on Indeed.
It takes a Titan to build a community. The J.D. Power award-winning 2019 Texas Titan, built with the tech you need so you can work even smarter. Plus, Titan is backed by America's best truck warranty. You've got work to do, and we've got your truck. Now, get the 2019 Nissan Titan with 0% financing for up to 72 months, plus cash back. Nissan Titan, only at your local Nissan store.
Dallas Cowboys game night tonight on Fox Sports Southwest.
6-1 Rangers on top. It is time for our In-N-Out Burger who's in, who's out pitching change. Jose Leclerc, you're in. Lance Lynn, you're out. After a great outing today. And Leclerc's first pitch up and out. Ball 1. Lynn gave up 2 hits today. And gives way to Leclerc. 70th appearance for Jose and his final appearance of the year. And fouled away 1-1. Remember earlier in the ball game some great defensive plays made by Gio Urshela of the Yankees at third base, and he had to leave the game in the 4th inning, and this guy Tyler Wade came in for him. We do get a report Urshela left the game with a mild left ankle sprain. More of a precautionary move than anything else. No further tests apparently being done, so I don't think there's great concern there, especially with the time that they have before their first game. 1-1. And Wade takes outside, 2-1. This one in the air. Right side of the infield. Guzman. That's it. 2 away. Well, let's slide over a moment to hear from Ford.
F-Series, America's best-selling truck for 42 straight years. Visit your best in Texas Ford dealer today.
2 gone, and Cameron Maben will be the hitter. So this is our final game here at Globe Life Park. Originally, back in 1994, opened as the Ballpark in Arlington. Pop-up heading foul, and this one gets out of play. Then it was, about 10 years in when they got their first corporate sponsorship. Ameriquest Field in Arlington was the name in 2004. That didn't last real long, though. That deal didn't quite work out, and so it became Rangers Ballpark in Arlington in 2007. And we have enjoyed the association. I think a really kind of well-constructed name. It works nicely, Globe Life Park, since 2014. And it will be Globe Life Field once we get across the street. (1-1), and this one fouled back out of play.
All right, that's why you bring a glove to the park. Beltre uniform and a left-handed glove. Nice play. Got a souvenir from the last game at Globe Life.
Yeah. 1-2 the count on Maben. And he strikes out swinging. There you go. A quick top of the 8th inning. Rangers with the 6-1 lead. Last to the 8th coming up.
Stream Rangers baseball from anywhere on Fox Sports Southwest and Fox Sports Go. And give yourself the best seat in the house.
Available now on Frontier On Demand.
Here's the basics. You get 3 wishes. They must begin with rubbing the lamp and saying, I wish. Got it?
Think so?
Watch this.
Mr. Aladdin, yes, 1 wish or 2 or 3.
I can't make anybody love anybody or bring anybody back from the dead.
Never had a friend.
Disney's Aladdin, rated PG.
Click the On Demand button now for the hottest new releases from Frontier. Available now on Frontier On Demand.
Here's the basics. You get 3 wishes. They must begin with rubbing the lamp and saying, I wish. Got it?
Think so?
Watch this.
Mr. Aladdin, yes, 1 wish or 2 or 3.
I can't make anybody love anybody or bring anybody back from the dead.
Never had a friend.
Disney's Aladdin, rated PG.
Click the On Demand button now for the hottest new releases from Frontier.
High school football app in Texas. Search Football Friday.
Well, it is time for the Baylor Scott and White Health game diagnosis. The Rangers leading by 5. Chu's been a big part of the offense, but it's been about Lance Lynn today.
Yeah, and we talked about him the whole game and the bulldog approach that he takes to every game, the way he attacks the strike zone, the presence on the mound, the fact that he's not afraid to come right after great hitters with his best fastball. And when the game's all over and done with, they got him one time. Aaron Judge hit a home run against that fastball, but it was all over and done. Lance went 7 1/3, gave up a couple of hits, only that run, only walked 1 batter, and struck out 10. And you can bet that his teammates appreciate the effort that he gave 33 times this year. So did 47,000 fans who gave him a standing ovation. Well earned by Lance.
I'll tell you, he's one of the real bright spots from this season. One of those things to get you excited about next year. Watching him pitch 33 times this year, and every single one of them was worth it. I mean, you're looking forward to it, and did a great job of keeping things on an even keel for this club. Aroldis Chapman, and I mean, they just need him to get a little work here. He will throw in this 8th inning. First appearance in this series, his 60th of the year. Also defensively, Estrada has come in again late. So changes continue for the Yankees. Entirely new infield and catcher combination. Gleyber Torres, the only one who started the game who was still in the game. All right, Delano DeShields. 1 for 3. First pitch from Chapman, and that one is a little bit in, ball 1. Rangers have spread the offense out a little bit today. 6 runs on 10 hits. And Delano pops this one up. Short right field. Frazier coming in, but it will be Gleyber Torres who handles it. 1 out. And one more time, let's hear from Dallas Truck World.
DallasTruckWorld.com. Find the vehicle you want quickly and hassle-free.
All right, Trevino, a couple of hits today. What a strong finish to the year for Jose Trevino. He had a double yesterday. Today, a couple of singles. He scored a run. Hit safely in 10 of his last 13 games. He started 13 of the final 16 behind the plate. And of those 3 games he did not start, one of them he ended up catching the majority of it anyway, when Jeff Mathis had to leave for an injury. Anyway, he's been out there every day. He's hit close to 290 over the last 23 games. And he shoots this one out to right field. Frazier, though, is there. 2 gone.
You know, Jose's making contact almost every time up. He's got a nice short stroke. He's not trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark. He's trying to spray line drives. And even his outs, that's a solidly hit ball. Unfortunately, it went right straight to the right fielder. But even when he makes outs, he's definitely not overmatched, and he's making some nice solid contact.
Now here's Chu, and he'll take down low. Chu has been on every time he has come up today with the 3 walks and a double. He has scored twice. And he takes a strike. 1-1. I said before in the middle of his first at bat that Chu would have a shot today if he, if things really went well for him, that he could get that on base percentage to 370. He's currently at 372. He's lifted at 4 points in today's game, and he takes a strike. Well, that's a pretty nice year. OPS about 820, 825. Take off the plate. It's 2-2. Chu, 37 years old. He'll be back next year. And the 2-2 from Chapman. Ooh, strike 3 called. Got the corner, and the inning is done. The Rangers go in order in the 8th. And before this game started today, we took it full circle all the way back to the opening in 1994. brought back the orchestra, Fort Worth Symphony Orchestra, for the national anthem. I say full circle. 1994 opening day, one of the most stirring moments in this ballpark's history. Van Cliburn and the Symphony Orchestra for the national anthem. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And it's funny when you talk to people who have been around all these years and enjoyed the many thrills and goosebumps from this ballpark. That one still stands right at the top of the list. Well, a big day today. Over 47,000 in attendance. Our fourth sellout of the year. And it got our total attendance in this ballpark's history to over 68 million. So it has been home to a lot of great memories. It has been a wonderfully entertaining place to visit for now 26 years for no less than 68 million people. So that is really cool. And now today, playing host for this last time as we get ready for the ninth inning. The Rangers up by 5. And all these fans, 47,000 plus, still on hand, awaiting not just the finish of the game, but then the ceremony afterward.
Yeah, I think I could watch Van Cliburn play the national anthem 100 times and not get sick of it.
Well,
you don't see people play the national anthem on a piano very often.
No. Well, Fort just came in to play first base, his first at bat of the afternoon, and Leclerc gets ahead of him 0-2. Well, you said it beforehand, Tom, that the ballpark and a day like today will mean so many different things to so many different people. Ford strikes out swinging one away, and it's just been interesting over the course of the week. You know, colleagues, friends, whatever, getting their impressions and their comments and their thoughts. And we have so many wonderful people who work with us on a daily basis. You know, we talk a lot about Dave Burchett, who is retiring after this season, after 37 years of directing games here. You know, our wonderful producers, Mike Dressman down at the truck. These guys grind it out every day. Eric Josephson, Carly, everybody. But here's the thing. I was up in the booth earlier, I guess it must have been yesterday. And Greg Schmidt, he's been running camera here for the entirety of this ballpark's history, as a lot of our crew has. There's Greg. And Greg was walking around. He was just kind of thoughtfully moseying around, looking at things. And where you got going? He stopped, just taking it in one last time. And it was emotional. Emotional for Greg. It's been emotional for a lot of folks. You know, again, you know, the portion of his professional career that has happened here. He proposed to his wife in this ballpark.
Those guys get out to the ballpark at around noontime.
Yeah.
You know, 80 times a year. Yeah. You're out here. I can see why you guys would feel that way. Spent his whole career out here. I started broadcasting back in 1995, and a lot of the guys up here, a lot of the camera guys, a lot of the guys that work behind the scenes in the truck started almost about the same time. A couple of years earlier, a couple of years later. So the whole time that I've been broadcasting, most of these guys have been here the whole time. Vic Sosa out in center field. Yeah, the 25 years I've been here, these guys have all been here 25 years or more, most of them.
And the funny thing is, I thought of all the guys, there's Larry Allen. I thought of all the guys who might be a little more excited to go across the street. Our cameraman would be.
Dave, the Browns are winning today, Dave. They're winning big. I knew that'd get them to smile.
You know, these guys, they're out. And if people had any idea what our guys go through, the amount of water and preparation every day just to survive the heat and the sun in the various locations.
No doubt. But
they're all, you know, a little wistful about saying goodbye. And they weren't always easy days out here. There were certainly some long ones. There's Peter.
There's our boy Pete.
Back up on your feet, Peter. That's so good to see.
Hi, Paul. Paul Cox out there.
He's got the great seats out in the wedgie.
Sure does.
That's one of your favorite parts of the park, right?
Yeah, for sure. Norm Hitzkiss used to sit out there in the old days. Used to bring some guests out there and be out in the wedgie. Used to recognize him out there. He loved it. He might have been the one that gave it the name, the wedgie.
I think he was. He was out there. He was out there earlier. I think it was on this homestand. Norm was out there, and he had a bunch of guests, a bunch of guys out there, and I was getting notes from him because he basically said to everybody in the group, $100 bill to everybody in the wedgie if we get a home run in here. And you remember, I think it was that night that Willie just missed the wedgie. Right out there, maybe a row past it. And they were all up on their feet.
Norm, along with Mark Holtz, was my first broadcast partner back in 1995. All right.
It's the whoa. Howdy, babe. And the 3-1. Bloop, left side of the infield. And that is handled for out number 2 by Solak. And so here we are.
Yeah, it's just so much better and so much more fun if the Rangers can close this out in front of 47,000 people with a win. Lance gets his 16th win, hopefully. Guys has some nice timely hitting in the ball game. Took advantage of some Yankee mistakes. The Yankees are going to the postseason. The Rangers aren't. But on this final day of the season, in front of Tom Schieffer, his wife Suzanne, the Bushes, the Roses, and so many people bidding farewell to this ballpark, it's going to be a lot more fun when they pull this game out. One thing about Tom Schieffer, when he comes to a game, I believe every game he's ever been to in this ballpark, when he comes in the first inning, he doesn't leave until the last out of the 9th inning. Every single game. And Suzanne's right there with him. Make it a strikeout, too.
And the Rangers win the final game in this beautiful ballpark on a strikeout of Giancarlo Stanton. And they send the Yankees packing. The Rangers win their final series at home by taking 2 out of 3 from New York. That was awesome.
That was a great game. A bittersweet day for obvious reasons, but in other regards, a tremendous day. The ceremony was great. We're not done yet. Turning off the lights in last night's game was so much fun and dramatic to watch. The Field of Dreams moment. Tom Schieffer with a smile on his face and some pain in his heart. But he'll be here till the last fan leaves, I would be willing to bet.
They waste no time. waste no time as they are.
Well, they got to get it out of there so they can put it in the parade and bring it over to the new ballpark.
Listen, that's no easy gig getting that thing out of the ground.
It'd be interesting to watch that and see exactly. People probably would say what this home plate looked like underneath and how far down in the ground does it go. I don't really know.
There it comes.
We're going to find out right here, though.
Let's see Ricky Anderson pull that out and hold it above his head. Well, it's loose, so they've got it. That's pretty good work to get that one taken care of. So neat to see Lance Lynn finish this one off with the great class and dignity of that effort. He goes to 16-11 with the win. The Rangers, by the way, pick up their 78th victory of the year as well. They finished the year 78-84. And so closes a great era of Rangers baseball in this ballpark. 26 wonderful years. 2 World Series, an All-Star game. Their first ever postseason appearance. And I think the way to look at it, because, yeah, there's a little lump in the throat today. There's going to be a few tears for some folks. But the way to look at it may well be that this was a great accelerant for this franchise. Got them on their feet securely, set them on the right path, and now the best is yet to come. And this structure will continue to be here for a long time afterward. And a guy who has spent his entire career in this ballpark, standing by with Emily Jones.
Elvis, every home game you have ever played has been in this ballpark. What does it mean to play in the final one here?
It feels good. A lot of people talking to me if I was going to play or not, and I'm like, yeah, for sure I'm playing. It's the last one here. I know it's super hot, but, you know, it's a lot of memories going through the game. And, you know, I'm really proud of myself to contain all those emotions and just finish strong. And, you know, really happy the way we play, especially the last two days. We kind of prove ourselves that, you know, what's coming next is going to be even better. So, you know, really happy everybody's job. Link today was unbelievable.
Yeah, and I think we need to have one more of these. One more. Fitting that you get the last one of those here, don't you?
Yeah, I'm the one in charge of those ones since, oh my God, like 2010, and pretty cool to have the last one here.
What is, when you think about this place, what sticks out the most?
I mean, the fans. You can see it the last week and this weekend has been unbelievable. It reminds me a lot of, you know, the World Series and every playoff.
You get a good feeling from...
Are you a whore? I mean, it's cool if you're a whore, but no right now, I don't get with no whore.
Another martini for tearjerker.
Good evening, tearjerker. Smith. Stan Smith.
Didn't really ask who you were, but okay.
I'd like an invitation to your spa.
I only invite celebrities.
Well, perhaps I can play you for an invitation. Name your game.
Okay. Baccarat.
Yeah, I don't know how to play that.
Okay, then. Craps.
Yeah, I don't get that either. I mean, 7's good, but then 7's not good. How do you play the whore and then they get mad at me?
Okay. Perhaps you should name your game. But I must warn you, I never lose.
Okay, let's play highest number.
I'm not familiar with it.
Whoever says the highest number wins. You go first.
Thank you. 6,000.
17,000.
Well played.
I guess I'll see you on the Teardrop Islands.
Did you get it?
Yes, baby.
I trust you'll enjoy my spa, Mr. Stan Smith of the CIA. In fact, you'll like it so much, you'll never leave. Oh, my God, you smell that? I had a pickle an hour ago. Came with my Reuben. I'm so fat.
Let's be honest. You need insurance, but it's not really something you want to buy. It's not sexy.
Oh, delicious.
Or delicious.
Or fun.
But since you need both car and home insurance, why not bundle them with Esurance and save up to 10%, which you can spend on things you really want to buy, like, well, I don't know what you'd want to buy because I'm just a guy on your TV. Esurance. It's surprisingly painless.
I'm a shift leader, troop leader, band leader. For my degree, I have a cheerleader. Hey, thanks for the quick call back.
I paid the price.
You paid too much.
For loving you.
No, for your glass.